Hi, this is Dash from Curse, here to tell you all about the new DLC for Fallout 4, the Contraptions Workshop. Now, before we get into all the building items, let's show off the 2 new power armor paint jobs. The Abraxo Cleaner branding adds agility when all parts are painted, and the Sugar Bombs paint job adds strength and gives you a sugar high. These color schemes are only available on the T51 armor. Warehouse is a new structure category with straight or angled roofs, lots of windows and walls that are taller than normal shack walls. Several door options including the powered rolling metal door. The scaffolding category has 2 pre-made towers or all you need to do it yourself, including lots of stair options and more rails. The new boxcars come in blue and orange and can be made directly on the surface or on stilts. Elevators require 5 power and come in 2, 3, and 4 floor options. Their height matches that of warehouse structures. Ball tracks are made to move around the steel balls. Other options include powered splits, droppers, switches, and pulses. Use this to create elaborate switch systems or just feed your Rube Goldberg fetish. Display is a new category of decoration and starts with 2 armor rack mannequins, a male and female for displaying any of the apparel. Once crafted, press the use button to open up the transfer screen, put the item in display menu, and then equip it to see it displayed. Display cases come in 4 varieties, 2 of which have a light and non-light version. Items must be placed manually inside. Power armor displays require 1 power and come in 4 colors. They'll snap together, and once the power armor is near, press activate to reposition it in front of the lights. Weapon racks include the heavy weapons stand for large weapons, short weapons rack for pistols and hand weapons, long weapons rack for medium-sized weapons, and these 2 racks will snap together and can be overlapped for better positioning of smaller weapons. There is also a single pistol rack and medium weapons racks that don't snap together and come with pegboard backing or mesh. There's also a new wall decoration category, posters. 41 different prints that come in 2 varieties. One is internally lit and must be attached to a power source, and the other has a light bar and only requires radiant power, but it's not as bright. Under the miscellaneous decorations, there is a Nuka-Cola clock for your wall. How about that? Under power, connectors and switches, you'll find the firing target pulse and firing target toggle, which switch the power on and off when it's hit. Also find the power counter that cycles power depending on the setting. A new category for power is the Conduits, which come in ground and ceiling versions and have many options for running power directly. This includes lights, splitters, wall pass-through, power radiators, and conduit switch. Under Power Miscellaneous, you'll find the pitching machine that launched small objects from its inventory. Now, unfortunately, Jangles the Moon Monkey won't fit, but the teddy bears and plenty more still did. Be careful though, as grenades will activate when thrown. The Junk Mortar will fire objects that are dropped inside of it, and the angle and power can be controlled via a terminal. A vertical and angled fireworks mortars will launch fireworks when powered, and the shells can be crafted at the chemistry bench. In addition to all the pretty colors, there is an emergency flare to summon Minutemen to the location and weather changes shells. You can make it rain, seed a rad storm, or clear it all. Use the terminal to set the fuse delay. A hoop switch combines a basketball hoop with a power trigger and comes with or without a pole. There are also 7 new versions of the powered speaker: the pulse vibrator, sine, square, triangle, blip, explosion, percussing. Each one requires 1 power and the pitch can be changed just like the original powered speaker. Under the power, you'll also find logic gates. You can build and act just as real-world logic gates. There are 7 basic types: AND, OR, exclusive OR, NOT, NAND, NOR, and exclusive NOR. This allows you to do some very complicated things with your power grid that control when and how often power is sent across the gate. Use the power counter and other switches, including the steel ball and track, to automate your settlements and manufacturing. Manufacturing is the new category in the power section. You can build machinery that will, in turn, build items. Use the conveyor belts, diverters, lifts, and tripwires to help automate the process. The hopper, once powered, will begin to drop inventory out, and you can change the rate and velocity from a connected terminal. The sorter and component sorter take in items via the conveyor belt, and then of course, sort them out. To control, add the item or component to the sorter. So when the item or an item with that component comes to the sorter, it'll go out the side instead of straight through. It'll also ring a bell to let you know it's currently sorting. There's also a storage unit that will connect to a conveyor belt and store your items, and a vacuum hopper that will pull items from an adjacent container into a conveyor belt. There are 10 different building machines and their output is controlled by a terminal. Once set, the proper building materials must be placed in the machine, either by hand or conveyor belt. The builder allows you to build items like the steel ball, bowling pins, and licensed products like Giddy Up Buttercup and Vault-Tec lunchboxes, which only cost 3 steel. Energy Weapon Forge requires science too, and can build the Gamma Gun, Gatling Laser, Laser Gun, Laser Musket, and Plasma Gun, but the material costs are pretty high. The Auto Loom will make clothing including dresses, slacks, and suits. A clean black suit costs only 3 cloth and 1 adhesive. The Pyrotechnics Mill will make all the fireworks, flares, and weather-changing shells at the same cost as the Chemist Bench. The Explosive Mill requires Demo Expert 2. It creates grenades and mines for the same cost as the Chemist Bench, but the mill does not make pulse or plasma type explosives. The Llaman Forge requires the Armorer 1 perk and creates light, medium, and heavy versions of the leather, metal, and combat armor. The Weapons Forge requires Gun Nut 1 and creates 10mm, 44, assault rifle, combat shotgun, double barrel shotgun, flamer, hunting rifle, pipe gun, and submachine gun. The ammunition plant requires Gun Nut 1 and Science 1 and makes all the standard ballistic ammo, and it costs 3 copper, 2 lead, 1 oil, and 2 fertilizer to make 10 rounds of the 2mm EC. The Heavy Weapon Forge requires Gun Nut 3 and makes the Fat Man, minigun, and missile launcher. The Food Processor makes all the pre-war favorites like sugar bombs and cram. Get it in ya. The last new power category is the Marquis, which comes with 12 different flashing bulb arrows that requires radiant power, and a Marquis sign that requires 1 power and comes with plastic letters, numbers, and a few symbols. In the Defense Traps category, you'll find a stationary gun and stationary paint gun that can be set up for the firing triggers. If set to full, they'll eventually jam and will need to be repaired. Under Resources Miscellaneous, you'll find a pillory for keeping your settlers online. Assign them to it and they will lock themselves in. This will trigger Timeout, one of the 3 achievements in the Contraptions Workshop. Show-Off is awarded for displaying 1 weapon on a weapon rack, armor on an armor rack, and power armor in a display. And you get a mass production when you produce 100 objects from your builders. Now that is everything in the DLC. I'm really loving the armor racks and ammo manufacturing. What is your favorite part of the Contraptions Workshop though? Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comments below. As always, this is Dash for Kerr saying thanks for watching and enjoy the game.